Meanwhile, in Windsor, Ontario, the federal government prepared to enter into an agreement where it is going to pay Michigan's share of a $1.4 billion project to create a new bridge a few blocks away from the Ambassador Bridge to alleviate the bottleneck. 25% of the trade goes between our countries, between this junction. But the Michigan legislature doesn't want it. The people who are elected to represent the taxpayers of Michigan, they're not so crazy about this. The Canadian government offering, in effect, they want to get the ball rolling, they will front $550 million to the state of Michigan. Canadian taxpayers' money will be given to the state of Michigan to encourage them to get the ball rolling, to build this other bridge. Canadian government says that they'll collect the money later through tolls. There's all sorts of issues of how are we going to tender this and what rights are going to be given to Michigan construction companies as opposed to Canadian. But the Canadian government is willing to front the money to the state of Michigan. And here's the part that I thought was odd. Canadian government's going to give $550 million to the state of Michigan. The Obama government will then overmatch it with all these different programs, so this money doesn't end up just going for this bridge. It will trigger road and infrastructure repairs all throughout the state of Michigan to the tune of $2.2 billion. This sounds like foreign aid. But Ontario, it must be worth it to the federal government to be forking out $550 million. Manitoba, not a lot of votes at stake. If I'm reading it correctly, this $180 million program we just described, so the Fed's share would have been $90 million. $550 being given to the state of Michigan, which then gets another, I can't even calculate how much more, for their road repairs. So somewhere in all of this, the question remains, shouldn't the federal government be pouring more money into supporting our infrastructure here as opposed to worrying about the state of roads in Michigan? Because that's what it amounts to.